All right, so what I'm going to do as well, so what we're going to do, just to put a perspective or just to have a proper understanding of what the government have said, and according to a report from the Guardian, I'm going to read it for you, because what happens is that some of you just listen to these headlines, you've not read the news and all of that, and then you just get carried up with fear. So let's read this together. All right, so this is Guardian publication, which I should be displaying on the screen now as well, and it says immigration and asylum, Nigerians, Pakistanis, and Sri Lankans face UK student visa crackdown. Applicants will be targeted by Home Office due to suspicions they are most likely to outstay and claim asylum. Nigerians, Pakistanis, and Sri Lankans applying to work or study in the UK face Home Office restrictions over suspicions that they are most likely to overstay and claim asylum, Whitehall officials have claimed. The government is working with the National Crime Agency, NCA, to build models to profile applicants from these countries who are likely to go on to claim asylum. Whether such a scheme will be successful depends on the strength of the models and the intelligence they work with, according to a migration expert. Nearly 10,000 asylum claimants who had arrived in the UK legally on work or study visa were living in taxpayers-funded accommodation, such as hotels, at some point last year. Data disclosed by the Home Office in March showed that of those asylum seekers who had originally entered on a visa but then ended up in government accommodation, the most common nationalities were Pakistan, Nigeria, and Sri Lanka. The Guardian revealed on Saturday that the government plans to reduce the numbers of UK student visa holders who make asylum claims. Remember, this is not to reduce the number of student visa, but to reduce those in the UK who, for whatever reason best known to them or not, go ahead to go and apply for asylum. All right. Officials will be instructed to use the bank statements submitted by visa holders as part of their assessment when deciding whether to grant them asylum accommodation. And this is where I said I have a problem with the UK visa asylum system, because if I were you, I would not grant them. Okay? Because a lot of them come to claim asylum for hardship purpose and all of that. Ideally, there should be a purpose, for asylum seekers, probably because of peace in your country. There's absence of peace, there's war in your country, or there's a crime that probably you may not have committed that the government is chasing you for. All right, but you cannot just come as a student, as a worker. You have gotten a work visa to come to the country legally or illegally, and then you just go and apply for asylum. There should be something to checkmate you, and one of them is your bank statement, because as an admissions officer for Isobi Royal Consult Limited, one of the documents that students submit to us is your bank statement. And come on, the UK Home Office will easily tell you submitted this during your visa application. They have the data. Now you have 60 million of your currency, 40 million, whatever it is. If it's Nigerians, 60 million in your account. How come today you can no longer cope with your study, or you didn't finish your study and you don't want to return? Okay, nobody knows the reason why those people claiming asylum are doing so. But asylum seeking should be for those who are either struggling with going back to their country because it's not safe for them. So they are genuine people who actually face crisis in their home country and they don't want to go. So just to let you know, that shouldn't be a reason why they should restrict work visas, or even what is it called, student visas. Because how will you know somebody who will come here and claim asylum after 12 months of their study? How will you know? Let's continue reading. It says, according to the Times, the Home Office is attempting to build intelligence to enable caseworkers, that's those making decisions when you apply for visa, to enable caseworkers to spot patterns in the profiles of people who are most likely to abuse work and study visas as a loophole to claim asylum. If you ask me if they contract me, I think they should give me that contract. I can easily just spot it out as well. Because sometimes you have to look at the bank statement, and this is an expo for you. If that law comes in, how can you navigate it as well? Somebody who just puts in maybe 60 million, open a bank account for just 1 month and puts in money there. Those are the things they might be looking out for. And then, of course, there's always a way. You can also find a way, but we don't know yet. But there's always, a way. So if you are funding your account for about a month and then you are coming to apply for a visa, they can suspect you on that ground. So you plan ahead for your visa application and make sure you present yourself as genuine if that is the case. So instead of you being afraid that the UK Home Office or the UK government is after your life and your migration plan, then let that one be dead on arrival. Let's continue. So according to the Times, the Home Office is attempting to build intelligence to enable caseworkers to spot patterns in the profiles of people who are most likely to abuse work and study visas as a loophole to claim asylum. They have earmarked Pakistani, Nigerian, and Sri Lanka visa holders as the most likely to go on to apply for asylum. Officials are working with the NCA, that's the National Crime Commission Agency, to build a model that would reject a visa claim from a person who fits the profile of someone likely to go on to claim asylum. Madeleine Sumption, the director of the Migration Observatory at the University of Oxford, said it was difficult to assess whether the government and the NCA would be able to create such a model. The key question, and one that is hard to assess from the outside, is do they have the information to accurately decide who is likely to claim asylum after they arrive? Because obviously it can be quite difficult. So whether it's effective will depend on whether patterns are obvious enough for them to accurately be able to do it as a build a model, or whether it will lead to some more arbitrary outcomes. Without being on the inside, it really is difficult to know. So we don't know what the Home Office figures they are seeing, data they are seeing. I could imagine scenarios where it could have a quite big impact. I can also imagine scenarios where it actually only affects a relatively small number of people, she said. Asked if the government's plan could lead to legal challenges on the grounds of discrimination, Sumption said, "I am not a lawyer, but the government has a fair amount of discretion on work and study to decide whether someone gets a visa or not when someone's coming from outside of the country." So it went further to say there are cases when there are potentially some legal avenues, but broadly speaking, the government is allowed to discriminate on many different grounds when granting work and study visas. So if you watch here in this old news, there's nothing saying that, oh, there is a visa ban on people. They are going to profile those applying. So it's about when you are applying, you know what documents you are putting in place, okay, for them to know whether you will stay in this country genuinely, finish your study, move on to you. Because come to think of it, when you finish your study, you should move on to post-study. So I wonder at what point you are not going to apply for asylum. Okay, so we'll keep our eyes on the ground, come back again to watch more of our updates on this news as it unfolds. But yeah, I just I felt like I should read this with you so that you'll understand the information yourself firsthand. So students, keep applying. We are accepting students for September intake 2025. So come on with your applications, both for those applying to come and do research, which allows you to come with your dependents. That's a genuine application, it's a legal application. All right. Do not allow any rumor mongers scare you from achieving your dreams. Yes, moving abroad from Nigeria or from Africa is a bonus, because if you're working here and you exchange your money with your home currency, you are a bigger person. And that is a reality for me, my family, my friends, and my students who are already here. So come on, guys. Do not allow rumors that you are looking for every day deter you and cripple your dreams. We are watching out for you, and we'll always be here to give you information that will encourage you and not deter you. Give you information that will make you succeed. Bridge that gap that you have between you and your expected dream or height. Thank you very much for staying to the end again. Please do like, do share, and subscribe for more updates like this and other concerning travel abroad or study abroad. Thank you for tuning in to Isobi Royal Consult Limited. We are here always to bridge the gap. Thank you.